have failed. Mercy.
You have failed.
Failed me for the last time.
Hello everybody and welcome back to You Have Failed with me, Sam Vader. Yes, I'm alive, and yes, this show is also somehow still alive. I don't really know how long this was going to be as an episode. In fact, King's Eyes doesn't even know that I'm recording this. This will be a surprise when this file just gets sent to him at some point tonight or tomorrow. He's like, what the fuck? And I'm like, edit this. There's a You Have Failed episode to go up. I can't promise this will become regular again. I'm very busy. I'm a teacher now, in case I hadn't said already. Very busy. So recording isn't as easy around my schedule, but, you know, the show still exists, and I thought it was about time I put out at least one episode to let you guys all know that I'm still alive. So in this episode, there's a topic I wanted to talk about. I don't know how long that's going to take. I don't know how long this episode is going to be. If I'm completely honest, this could be a shorter one. And then there's just some also things I've been thinking, some ideas, and I'm just going to spitball them for you all to hear. But yes, the topic I want to talk about is, weirdly, it's a very controversial topic at the moment. I don't think it should be. I really, really don't think it should be. But this is one of those rare instances where I'm willing to concede that I'm in the wrong, maybe. I don't think I am. I really don't think I am. But maybe there's a chance I could be, you know. But what I want to talk about is Harry Potter. I'm English, as I'm sure a lot of you can tell. And, you know, I love the films, I love the books. I've probably insulted them a few times on this channel, but that's just because with me and Pharaoh, I prefer Star Wars, she prefers Harry Potter, so there's a bit of I like to wind her up. But genuinely, I think they are fantastically written stories. The first two books are a bit slow, but the pace definitely picks up by the third one. And the films are equally as good. All the actors are very talented, and, you know, I think it's a fantastic franchise. But I feel like there's this stigma these days with saying you like Harry Potter, especially saying, you know, I'm going to buy this, that, and the other. And I recently went to the studio tour in London. It was fantastic. I did buy a lot, to be honest. And, you know, I think the big controversy at the moment, I've pre-ordered Hogwarts Legacy. And the reason this is controversial, for those of you who don't know, for, you know, those of you who just have the sense to stay out of this shit, and, you know, I do try to, but if Harry Potter itself was inherently transphobic as a story, like the Wizarding World, okay, then sure, you shouldn't support that. But, you know, J.K. Rowling has opinions. Whether you agree with them or not doesn't matter. Whether I agree with them or not doesn't matter. That's not really what I'm here to talk about right now. It's, I don't know, I think it's stupid to boycott a game because the person who wrote the original books and, you know, the films and everything has said some things on Twitter, right? That doesn't affect the game. The game does not promote anti-trans beliefs. The books and the films do not promote anti-trans beliefs. The ones that I bought from the studio tours do not promote anti-trans beliefs. I think it's completely ridiculous. Don't get me wrong, I get why people are hurt. If, you know, you've been offended by what she said, that is up to you. It's not for me to judge what offends you. I think offence is a very subjective thing, and if you've been offended, you know, that's a very personal thing. I'm not here to tell you you can't be offended by something. However, I think taking it to the extremes, I think going, right, I'm going to boycott this, boycott that, don't buy a game, and then it's not the fact, and this is where I can't be funny about this. Normally, obviously, You Have Failed is a very funny show. Well, at least I hope it is. But I can't be funny about this because, you know, if I do, I'll make a joke and it'll go down like a lead balloon because people will get offended for the wrong reasons. So I don't want to call people who are doing this stupid But I do think they need to think. And not people who are refusing to buy. If you're refusing to buy the game, that's on you. You don't want to buy the game, or you're not interested in it. I don't care. That's on you. What I do think is completely stupid, ridiculous. What's the point in any of this? Is if you then tell other people that if they buy the game, they're transphobic. Like, there are people out there right now that because I have pre-ordered Hogwarts Legacy and I will refuse to cancel the pre-order because I really want to play the game, it looks like a lot of fun and I'll get to that in a second, I am now transphobe. Which, quite frankly, is utter bollocks. To be a transphobe, I'd need to go out there insulting transphobic people. I'm not. I'm buying a game based on a boy wizard. That's not transphobic. That's just me being interested in a certain topic. Like, you just have to accept that, move on, live with it, right? That's what I'm buying a video game, right? And this is my little spiel at the start. For those of you who are out there insulting people for buying the game, grow up, fight the real battle, because the people buying the game aren't the problem. If you've got a problem with J.K. Rowling, you've got a problem with J.K. Rowling. But go out there and, fight for your rights in a way that doesn't impact other people's rights to play a video game. It's just a video game. It's not, the game itself is not there to offend anyone. It's a video game based on an IP. Deal with it, move on, spiel over. But yes, Harry Potter. I'm very much actually looking forward to playing Hogwarts Legacy. Obviously, I'm going to go around as a dark wizard. And the minute I get access to it, I'm going around and going to anyone I can find. Like, literally, dropping a message to your classmates. You're like, don't come to potions class tomorrow, it's going down. And then just walk into the teacher and go, like, it's just how it works, isn't it? And like, that's, by the way, my awesome Voldemort impression is like, Harry Potter, the boy who lived, come to die. Like, honestly, I could just do an entire dub of the films, because then you've got like Snape, like, hello, Potter. I can teach you to bewitch the mind and ensnare the senses. And then you've got like Hagrid, where it's like, you're a wizard, Harry. I don't know why he's got a bit like proper Scottish, but that's Hagrid. And then you've got Professor McGonagall, who sounds pretty much the same. Like, Malfoy, you little shit, get up to the fucking tower. You've got Malfoy like, Potter, 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 Potter. And then you got Harry like, oh, hello, I'm Harry. Hermione like, Leviosa, not Leviosa. And then Ron like, hey up me old chap, because he seemed like a northerner. And then, yeah, basically I could, and then you got Dumbledore like, 1,001 points to Gryffindor for the next 10 days in a row, because Harry Potter is my favourite student and I don't even hide it. By the way, Slytherin for life over here. Fuck Gryffindor, bruv. What about the dark arts, Professor Snape, Lord Voldemort? But back to the point, I'm going to be in Hogwarts Legacy like, honestly, I'm going to like rewrite the timeline, and suddenly Voldemort's not going to be the top, like, most famous dark wizard of all time anymore. They'll just be saying Vader, because he just went around, and even to like random people on the street like, you know the bit in Spider-Man 3 where like Tobey Maguire's walking along doing the dance and he's doing like the finger guns? Imagine that's me, but every time I do the finger guns it's just me like to random people on the street. For those of you who don't know, I'm saying Avada Kedavra in a really stupid way, but that'll be me just killing everyone in Hogwarts Legacy, being the ultimate dark wizard of all time, because fucking amazing, and obviously I'm a Slytherin. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the game, and because I love the films and the books and the studio tour. Honestly, I implore anyone in England to go to the studio tour, and anyone not in England to come to England for the studio tour if you love Harry Potter. Like, you're in the actual studios, you go into the actual Great Hall that was used in filming, you see the actual costumes, props and sets and animatronics, you get to see the actual Hogwarts Express, Privet Drive, you get to try butterbeer, which honestly tasted awful, but it was an experience. And so I came out with a wizard chess set. Unfortunately, the pieces don't move on their own and beat each other up. I was slightly disappointed, but I'd thrown out the receipt by then, so you just have to deal with the fact it's a normal chess set that looks like Harry Potter style. 3 wands. I got the Dark Arts wand, which looks amazing. It's got some Death Eaters and a basilisk on it. The Slytherin mascot wand, which has like a serpent going around the wand. And then, of course, Professor Severus Snape's wand, because he is the best character in the entire franchise. And if anyone says differently, Potter, I will and kill them immediately. Snape, Severus Snape, Dumbledore. Snape, Severus Snape, Dumbledore. Snape, Severus Snape, Dumbledore. Snape, Severus Snape, Dumbledore. What a time to be alive. But yeah, studio tour, absolutely fantastic. I fully recommend it to anyone. We went sort of early January, so it was still Christmassy there. So we want to go again sometime this year where we can see it, where it's not all Christmassy fired, and because the last thing you see in the tour is the actual model of Hogwarts that's used for external shots, and that is just breathtaking. And obviously it was cool seeing it in all the snow, but I'd love to go back and see what it looks like. I mean, I've already seen it, I've seen the films, but without everything. But yeah, walking through the actual Great Hall was fantastic, seeing like all the prosthetics, all the creatures. Being an arachnophobic, I didn't like the Forbidden Forest because there's a big spider experience, but there is a part where you can cut through, but it was my first time, so I thought, you know what, I'll try it. I honestly didn't like it, so I'll cut through next time. Apparently the spiders were immune to my, look at it. And to be fair, I probably wouldn't have, because it would have fallen on my head and I would have panicked, so that probably wouldn't have been too much of a good idea. But yeah, no, it was a fantastic experience, and I do really hope everyone else who was there obviously enjoyed it. I think they did, and I do implore anyone to go who loves Harry Potter. I'm currently rereading the books again. I'm on Chamber of Secrets at the moment, so as you can imagine, it's absolutely dragging, as that book does. It does take a while to get anywhere, unfortunately. I'd say it's my least favourite of the books. The Philosopher's Stone I forgive for taking so long, because it's got the world to set up. This book I feel like just takes unnecessarily too long to get going, and yeah, that's just my opinion. But they're still very, very well written books, even if some people don't like the author. And I mean, I'm indifferent. I don't care. I don't even know what she actually said. I'm not that big of. Don't get me wrong. I'm all for standing up and making a change, but I can't imagine what she said was that bad. And if it was, I'm wrong. Like, correct me. I don't think it's enough to boycott an entire video game and franchise that you love. I mean, maybe it is, who knows? I'm not getting into the ethical dilemmas of this, because I'm not in a position to judge. I don't know, I'm looking from the outside, so it's not my place to say, but I'm playing the game. I've pre-ordered the game. I'm going to love the game. I love the books. I went to the tour, and yeah, I don't know. Anyway, moving on. That's my spiel about Harry Potter. It's very quick. I'm aware they're very good films, very well made films, and I think they are timeless films that will last longer than any of us will, and that's something special. You've watched something special happen when you've experienced that. But anyway, moving on to the future of You Have Failed. When will episodes be uploaded? Still on Wednesdays, because that was just always going to be my day, I think. How often? Expect the same communication on that as Mappa has given us when it comes to Attack on Titan's release. Also, can we just take a moment to appreciate, the final season, the final part 1? Can we just appreciate that they've actually done this? And I can't wait for, when we eventually get the announcement for Attack on Titan, the final season, the final part 3, the final part, the third installment, part 3, the third, the end. Like, I can't wait for that installment. Like, I'm not annoyed. I love Attack on Titan. I really do, but I feel like they're milking this cow a bit too much now. Maybe they're taking time for the animation, but if they're doing that, I'd rather them say, okay, we're going to have a later release all at the end of the year and just give me one part. Why is it being split in two again? That's my issue. It's not the time. It's the fact we didn't have an announcement for so long about what was going on, and then the fact that it's been split in two parts. I was saying to King's Eyes and Pharaoh, I reckon it's going to be split into the scouts getting to Erin and that final little chapter in the story, and then the Battle of Heaven and Earth will be the final part, unless there's about a million other new parts, in which case this might be going on and then milking the cash cow forever. But yeah, that's a different kettle of fish that I don't think we're quite getting into right now. Attack on Titan back on the 3rd of March, very much looking forward to it. We all know how much I love Attack on Titan and how emotionally unprepared I am for what is to come. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I've been watching a lot of Attack on Titan edits recently and just Attack on Titan in general. And yeah, my emotions are high, so be prepared to hear me cry when that all goes down. At some point when the final part 62, comes out and, I'm in a retirement home and got grey hair and everything in between. All right, moving on. The future of You Have Failed. So I do plan to still keep doing things like this. I might get more guests on and we can have more discussions, because I don't think You Have Failed has to be limited to TV shows, films, and media franchises. I think we could probably talk about anything and talk about what has failed in the world. But that's an idea I've been thinking of. I don't really know what to do with that. For fuck's sake, has an episode, I believe it's up now, where that'll be King's Eyes and me listening back to old You Have Failed episodes and me reacting to the wacky, ridiculous and god-awful shit that I've said in the past. So do look out for those when they get done. Once again, my schedule is so busy and I apologise that this won't be regular, and hopefully I can find a schedule at some point that just lets me record, but we'll see. The life of a teacher is a busy life. Also, I had an idea, because apparently my TikTok thinks I'm American, because I've been getting a lot of SNL clips coming up on my TikTok. God knows how. Maybe I like too many comedy videos and they thought, oh, Saturday Night Live. I've never watched Saturday Night Live properly, because obviously not American. But there's a funny section I've seen where two co-hosts write jokes for the other person. And then the other person just has to blindly read out these jokes. And obviously they're jokes that they probably wouldn't have said themselves. Now, I would love to incorporate something like this, whether it's Pharaoh, King's Eyes, or, you listeners writing jokes for me to say. Obviously, if it's listeners, I'd let probably King's Eyes filter through the jokes, because my one stipulation would be, whilst they can be a bit offensive and horrible, I've made offensive jokes. Nothing that I think would get me cancelled, should we say. Nothing that is too outrageous that you'd get in a lot of trouble for saying that on a podcast. Like, I don't want to get anyone in trouble. I don't want to get myself in trouble, So it'll be something fun to try where, I read it out and then I'm, at my expense, I'm reading out these bad jokes. So that might be something I might to try as maybe a section on the show. I want to do another Cards Against Humanity episode. 1000% I want to do that. Or just another episode like that where we're playing some games. I've had a lot of other ideas and, other things like maybe something with card games, because I like playing card games, but I don't know. Figures, collectible, I don't know. Like, I'm sort of spitballing at the moment. The main ideas I had were probably more guests, maybe talking about things other than TV shows and films, but I think it will primarily still be that, because that seems to be my sort of area where I can rant the most. I just haven't watched many new things recently that I can think of. I can't think of the last new thing that I watched, to be honest. So, and I've just been busy anyway. I don't really watch stuff anymore. I just get in, watch a bit of YouTube, and then feel dead inside for the rest of the evening. Which is what I used to do anyway, except now I have a sleep schedule for it, And teaching is an experience. A history teacher, though, if it helps, which means your and finally episodes that you used to have are now certified. I'm a history teacher, so I can say that it's all true. Not that you have to believe me, of course, but history teacher, bro. I know what I'm doing, bruv. Anyway, yeah, so this is sort of my spitball, Harry Potter, whatever idea. I think the joke idea is good, and I'm sure when King's Eyes listens to this, he will like it, and I'm sure Pharaoh will like the idea of writing me some jokes as well, for me to just read out as I'm doing an episode and see what becomes of it, and I don't know. You Have Failed will keep going forward. I just don't know in what form and when. I'm sure when the joke I always made to King's Eyes, actually, when he was asking about, when will you have failed come back, I always said when Attack on Titan comes back, because Attack on Titan always seems to get me the most listens. So, that probably is when it will come back more regularly and you'll get episodes weekly, is when Attack on Titan comes back. And then when Attack on Titan dies, like the show ends, I don't know, because people probably won't listen to me anymore. So we'll figure it out. But when Attack on Titan comes back, you can expect more regular episodes. Until then, there'll be episodes when there's episodes. There might be new formats. There might be new sections to the show. It might not just be rants anymore. There might be other funny little bits I add in. I was thinking rants of the week and stuff that I can just put in about things in the world that have annoyed me, like people who use the wrong fucking lanes in the road. It's like, oh, you're going left, so you're going to get in the right-hand lane, are you? Fucking wanker. Like, just get into the right lane. It's not that hard to get into the correct lane. It really winds me up. Like, people who do not use the right, but they think they're in the right. Actually, I'm going to rant. So, one of my least favourite things in the entire world is when people... or like as a general, people don't use the right lanes on a roundabout per se. Like, it's just become common practice. Like, people just follow the trend and no one uses the right lane, which means when you're then using the right lane, you're actually the one posing a danger to everyone else, which doesn't make any. How can driving correctly put you as the one putting people in danger? And yes, if it came to a court case, you'd probably be right if you could prove that you were doing all the things correct. But that's not the point. There should never be a scenario where you doing the correct thing on the road is actually the most dangerous option. But, people are idiots, and there's a roundabout by me where people don't use the correct lanes to where they're meant to go. They've got to a point where they've standardized it that, oh, you go from this lane to that lane. But that's not actually how the road is laid out. The signs don't go that way. It's just what people have done and people continue to do, which means if I then use the correct lanes, I'm in the wrong. That really fucks me off. I hate people. I hate driving. Well, I don't. I love driving, but I hate other people that drive. So, it's winding me up. Anyway, I'm going to end the episode there because this is just a tangent at this point. I don't really know where this is going. This is a much shorter episode. And yeah, it's been a while, so this is probably just me getting back into the swing of things. But I really hope you enjoyed, guys. It's been really good to be back and for you guys to know that I'm still alive. Harry Potter, you haven't failed. People who are trying to be horrible to people for buying a video game, you have failed. Like, focus on your own life, bro. People aren't buying a game because they're transphobic. They're buying a game because they want to everyone in Hogwarts. Like, bro, and bigger fish to fry. Someone at game who's buying a Hogwarts Legacy, or someone who's actually transphobic spreading those views. Which one am I going to target as the victim? Right. Think about it. People buying games aren't the bad guys. It's the people actually spreading these views. Anyway, that's me done. Harry Potter, you haven't failed. I stand by the franchise. Me, I've never failed. I'm also... Who am I kidding? I fail at everything. It's been really fun talking to you all, and I'll catch you next time, which will probably be, at this rate, 3 years' time. I'll see you around, guys.